Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. So this is part of the same video series that I'm going to talk about when there's a new model or anything that's related to machine learning comes out. I'm going to talk about as soon as possible in this type of a video. I think the last time the video was like 10 minutes, but this time I'm going to keep it close to 5 minutes. So today's big news is the OpenAI released their new model, ChatGPT or GPT 4.5. So it's right now available to pro users worldwide. So if you are to become a pro user, you need to pay about $200. So I don't have that much of money to pay for ChatGPT. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the developer platform, which is the playground, and use it. But before that, let me share my screen. Okay, so I hope you can see this. So this is the initial announcement and they released the video as well. So when you talk about OpenAI's GPT 4.5 versus GPT 4, they haven't really released the number of parameters that they have used. But if you want to dive deep into the theoretical part of how they train this model, you can actually watch this video here, right here. Just go to OpenAI YouTube channel. This video is right here, right there. It's a 30-minute video. So the thing about this is not a reasoning model. This is a normal the model that we usually use like GPT-4, GPT-4o, not the O series like O1, O3. So in here they're talking about a significant difference in how it answers these questions, and I saw there were different benchmarks also mentioned down here. So in here basically these benchmarks are like GPQA, means that's like Google Prof. If I can remember correctly, it was Google Prof. Let me see. Oh, it's the graduate level Google Prof Q&A. So that means it has about 440 multiple answer questions, multiple choice questions. So, and the next one is Mathon Multilingual. As you can see in most of these things, sometimes the O3 mini performs very well. That's actually O3 is the reasoning model. And when it comes to maths, you can actually see the difference here. But when you think about the one before, you can't really compare. You can actually you have to compare GPT 4.5 with O3 mini, but the model I would really like to compare is 4o, because that's the one we use usually when it comes to creating an application. So yeah, the other thing. So this is a huge difference, as you can see. Let's forget about O3. Let's think about this one, and as you can see in every aspect, it's much better. And they, like I said, they haven't released the number of parameters or anything that they use to train this model as well. But it is, so actually this is something nice that I saw during this video. So they are comparing how they got the answer in GPT-1 and GPT-2, GPT-3. You can go through this. This is actually a nice demo. So in here, one of the main things that they talk about is hallucination rate. So what hallucination means is that most of the times LLMs tend to create or produce answers on their own and they think it's correct. So that's what basically hallucination is in simple terms. So when you are using a large language model, you have to understand that large language models are not intelligent. They just predicts the next word and create something new out of nothing. So basically, depending on the amount of data they have trained and fine-tuned and everything that's going around, the large language model, this hallucination rate can be lowered. So one of the applications that we usually use is RAG, or fine-tuning, to reduce the hallucination. But as you can see here, GPT 4.5's hallucination rate is really low. So I really wish there was something like GPT Turbo here as well, because as I said in the last video, one of my friends actually found out that the GPT-4 Turbo has one of the lowest hallucination rates when it comes to testing, and also the accuracy is also high compared to a GPT-4. So without taking much time, let's go to this one, our playground. So in playground, you can actually have uh, this thing, which is compare these two models that you can use. And so when it comes to this, I'm not going to write the thousand one, but here this one. So GPT-4o is 2.5. It's 2.5 USD, and here it's 75. So and when it comes to GPT-4, should be somewhere here. It's only 10, and GPT-4 30 and 32K context, it's 60. So here it's 75. This is a really big price gap, I would say, but depending on the use case, this is something important that you might have to implement. So one thing I found out was when it comes to health sector, not in other sectors, mostly in health and maybe defense sectors or something like that, you need to have these models with very less hallucination. So even though you are using fine tuning or RAG or everything, the models tend to hallucinate a lot your applications. So I think if your main purpose is to reduce hallucination, it's very important to use a better model. So as you can see here, it's really it's in the high price end, but you can see. So yeah, let's go to this one. So I actually asked Claude 3.7 to create some prompts to test it out. So before that, let me show this one to you. So in here they talk about the same question and help through tough time. This source, they focus on emotional intelligence here as well. So GPT show greater EQ, knowns when to invite further conversation versus to provide with civil information. So like that, they actually promoted this one a lot. So other than that, identifying a painting in here, what they talk about is it knows exactly the factual accuracy without the hallucination, maybe less hallucination. Let's not use the word without hallucination because that's something. So again, it's same here, that conversational. So yeah, let's test a few things out. So what I use here? Okay, so I have a question, explain quantum superposition. These are some questions. So I'm going to use these, say, these two models to give me and get me an answer. Let's see. Okay, maybe it's here in Sri Lanka or something like that. The data center they use something like that. It's slow, but so as you can see in here, they are giving technical explanations, then creative analogy and everything. It's same as here, but think of a superposition. So as you can see, one of the main things that they talk about is when to give a really big explanation. So as I said before, GPT-4 Turbo is really powerful model compared to GPT-4, or in my opinion. So as you can see, they don't have much of a difference here. But if I were to clean this and use something like 4.0 and send the same text again, so it will give the same things. But when you closely read these answers, this answer has a lot more factual information because of the, I think, basically number of ways they have fine-tuned it and how they, not really fine-tuned, how they train the model. They talk about how they use supervised learning and all that in that demo they have provided. So you can actually test this model in OpenAI Playground. It won't cost much. So I think it it's slow in here, but it costs very less. I'm not sure whether there's an API endpoint at the moment to create an app using it because it's in preview mode. So now I'm going to end this video because it's close to 10 minutes. So I hope you enjoyed, actually learned something new and enjoyed it.